All right, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the State of Florida Poetry Out Loud competition. I'm Amberly Nelson, and I'm the co-coordinator for Poetry Out Loud, and we are so excited that you've joined us this morning. It is now my pleasure to introduce the co-coordinator for Poetry Out Loud, Karen Neesmith.
Hello, 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 everyone. How are you this morning? Let me see a round of hands in the chat. Woo! All right, we're so excited to be here. Amberly and I have been planning this for months. I know you all have been waiting in anticipation for this day as well. I want to start by congratulating all of our State of Florida Poetry Out Loud 2021 state finalists. I'm Karen Neesmith, again, from the Chancellor's Office at the University of South Florida, St. Petersburg campus. And I know despite a year with many challenges that we've all been confronted with, still 28 Florida high schools conducted a Poetry Out Loud recitation competition this year and submitted a finalist. Over 6,000 students and more than 150 teachers participated from across the state in our Poetry Out Loud programming. A heartfelt thank you to all of our teachers, the schools, the families, all of you that provided support to our students to be able to do this. The University of South Florida, St. Petersburg campus is proud to be serving as the organizer for the Poetry Out Loud State of Florida competition this year. And I'd like to start this presentation with some words from Dr. Martin Tadlock, the Regional Chancellor at the University of South Florida, St. Petersburg.
Hi, everyone. Martin Tadlock, Regional Chancellor here at the University of South Florida, St. Petersburg campus, and we are thrilled to be the organizer for the State of Florida's 2021 competition for Poetry Out Loud. You know, as a former English teacher, I know the power of poetry and the power of the spoken word. In the classroom, it can give young people a mode of expression, a way to build confidence, and a way to heal. In the words of our National Youth Poet Laureate, Amanda Gorman, she said this: "Poetry is an art form, but to me, it's also a weapon. It's also an instrument. It's the ability to make ideas that have been known, felt, and said." This year, despite many challenges, more than 30 high schools and 6,000 students participated on Poetry Out Loud programming and brought forward incredibly talented contenders to the state competition. And we're all coming together for the first virtual competition. So we're really pleased to have so many smart, talented students join us for this exciting event. But first, since I know many of our participants are considering where you'd like to go to college, let me tell you a little more about the beautiful USF St. Petersburg waterfront downtown campus. Located in the vibrant, walkable downtown city of St. Petersburg, USF St. Petersburg is the only residential public research university in Pinellas County. We pride ourselves on being a close-knit learning community with low faculty and student ratios, affordable tuition, and a strong sense of community. You know, our campus offers more than 40 graduate and undergraduate programs in the arts and sciences, business, and other areas. Our students don't just study, they conduct their own research and help lift the community. Guided by some of the best and brightest faculty in the University of South Florida, students take charge of pursuing their academic passions and getting direct experience in their future professions. Let me give you some examples. History students contribute to an interactive digital archive that is revolutionizing early American history. Business students analyze stocks and manage real wealth. Journalism students work out of their own newsroom and cover issues impacting a historic African American community. We strive to make our world and our region a better place. with faculty and students working together, and with local partners to solve complex problems and benefit our community residents. As St. Petersburg campus continues to grow, we grow with the city, providing our students the knowledge and skills for success, and our community with a partner in developing the next leaders. Biologists, financiers, teachers, artists, and more are a great partner. I personally invite you to explore our campus, either virtually on our website at stpetersburg.usf.edu or in person. We look forward to seeing you here. Thank you and enjoy the time.
Excellent. And now I'd like to introduce some of our judges who are here with us today. I'll start with Darian Dazir Thompson, who is our accuracy judge this year, who I don't believe is with us here this morning. But Darian is a student at the University of South Florida and an aspiring poet. Sarah Rees Zakonski is here with us this morning. Sarah is a poet, author, and teacher for Keep St. Pete Lit. Sarah, if you'd like to just say hello this morning.
Hi, everyone. I just want to say congratulations to you all. I know it takes a lot of time and dedication to recite and perform a poem. I really thoroughly enjoyed the performances, and I wish you all the best of luck.
Thank you, Sarah. Our next judge is Gloria Munoz. Gloria Gloria, I believe, is here with us this morning. Wonderful. Gloria is a poet, translator, writer, and educator at Eckerd College. Gloria, would you like to say hello?
Hi, everyone. I'm not sure if you can see me, but I am so excited and proud of everybody who was a part of this competition. You all are remarkable for just stepping up to share your voice, and learning and engaging with poetry is something that I hope you carry forward for the rest of your life. Bravo to all of you.
Thanks, Gloria. Our next judge is J.D. Scott. J.D. is a poet, writer, and educator. J.D., please say hello this morning.
Good morning, everyone. I loved watching everyone's submissions, you know, public speaking, recitation, memorizing poetry. They're such important skills, you know, even outside of this. I mean, these are skills you'll take forward in your life in college and job interviews. So, it was just wonderful seeing everyone's presentation, and good luck. And I'm looking forward to the rest of the presentations today. So thank you.
Thank you, JD. Thanks for being with us. And our final judge is Yuki Jackson. Yuki is a poet and educator with the Battleground Youth Program. Yuki, please say hello.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for having me. I was so excited to be able to engage with all of you virtually through your, poetry recitation. And it was just so encouraging to see so many young people who are connecting to and celebrating poetry and, all of the power and the glory that it can provide, within our own lives and, bringing the light for other people. So especially when we need it the most, right, in our society. So thank you and congratulations.
Thank you, Yuki, and thank you so much to all of our judges who spent a lot of time and effort looking through all of your amazing submissions. So now I'm excited to have our top 2 finalists with us here today. Each will recite a poem live for us. So first, let me welcome and introduce Daniela Flom from the Village School in Naples to recite Across the Street by August Segrest.
Across the Street by Austin Segrest. I ran across the street. I didn't know any better. Ran out in the street. I didn't know no better. I just knew a woman was there, though I'd never met her. She sat me in her parlor, distracted me with trinkets, milky glass, birds and fish, distracting trinkets. She said my mother would be fine, but did she think it? The world was a blur of crystal wings and fins. My tears were cast in crystal wings and fins. She was the first of many lady friends. The tree shadow shortened. She brought me a drink of water. Morning matured. She brought me a glass of water. I drank it so fast. She went and brought another. I kept looking out the window. She didn't ask me what for. I watched out the window. She didn't ask what for. Seconds broke off and lay there on the floor. I imagined my mother's route as far as I could. Her long morning walk followed as far as I could. Nothing I could do would do any good. Suffer the little children and forbid them not. Christ said, suffer the little children and forbid them not. Said, love thy neighbor. Sometimes she's all you got. Thank you.
Wow, very powerful. Thank you, Daniela. Great, great recitation. We would now like to welcome Miss Flavia Nunes from the School for Advanced Studies North in Miami Lakes to recite At the City Pound by Vincent O'Sullivan.
Hi guys, okay, At the City Pound by Vincent O'Sullivan. I'm in charge of a cage. I know those that won't. I don't mean can't, just won't. There's a roster for Tuesdays, Fridays, dogs to die. The disconsolate, the abandoned, those with recurrent symptoms, the incorrigible mutt. A dozen choices by way of reasons. Even so, some won't. Won't play along once their number's up. The rainbow bridge in the offing, as the posher clinics put it. A pig's ear as a final treat. A venison chew. The profession behaving beautifully at a time like this. Still, those that won't go nicely, I mean, with a gaze to melt, a last lobbed lick. Those with the soul's defiance, the embarrassment in the lunchroom, should you come at that one. Even after the bag is zipped, you feel it. We're real at the end as you are, Buster. We sniff the wind. What say if we say it together? Won't. Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you, Flavia. That was wonderful. Thanks to both Flavia and Daniela. Now we are going to announce our state champion, but first I want to show a video montage that we prepared of all of our finalists with clips of their recitations. And we're going to air that now.
My name's Peter Meinke. I'm happy to be here. I'm the current Poet Laureate of Florida, and I'm here to encourage teaching and the reading and the writing of poetry to young people. When I was in high school, I had discovered poetry sort of on my own. My mother I don't think read it, but she had poetry books. She believed in poetry without reading it, and I loved it. And at any rate, in my high school yearbook, it said, Peter Meinke wants to be poet, probably will be censored. And I've always remembered that, and occasionally I've been censored, but not very often. And so I'm certainly glad to be here and representing poetry to Florida, and particularly to the young people who are just learning to get interested in it.
I'll walk, but not in all-road traces, and not in paths of high morality, and not among the half-distinguished faces, the clouded forms of long past history.
Their nation is the act of soaring. Soaring makes my silence meaningless. Thank God they've taught me how to talk about nations.
A tree with its branches in the earth, its roots in the sky. A tree with flowering roots. This verse, says Kabir, is your key to the universe, if you can figure it out.
Clearly, it must be saved. Caught in a shopping bag and rushed to the front door, afraid to crush it, feeling the plastic rattle, loosened into the night air. Batters the porch light, throwing fitful shadows around the landing. That was a really big moth, is all you can say to the doorman who has watched your whole performance with a smile.
See her little white purse full of treasure? Her white sandals? She has things to do, you can tell. Places to explore, beyond the frame. And these women, picking flowers and taking pictures, why won't they let her go?
I was angry with my foe. I told it not, my wrath did grow. And I watered it in fears, night and morning with my tears. And I sunned it with smiles and with soft, deceitful wiles.
So why is exposure in poetry important for young people? I would say personally for me, if not for creative purposes, poetry is just the expression of emotions. And especially for young people, if they don't have outlets for people to talk to, they can just put it in their poetry and just write it down. You know, poetry isn't just about rhyme schemes. It's about, it's whatever you want it to be. You can write it down on paper. You can put it in your phone. You can just memorize it. And it's, you know, it's somewhat made tangible, those emotions that you can look back on and reflect. And it's something that no one can take away from you.
A lot of it lives in the trachea, you know, but not so much that you won't need more muscle. The diaphragm, a fist clenching at the bottom. Inhale. So many of us are breathless, you know, like me.
He's jubilant as a flag unfurled. Oh, a girl should not forget him. My own dear love. He's all my world. And I wish I'd never met him.
Cannon to right of them, cannon to left of them, cannon in front of them, volleyed and thundered, stormed at with shot and shell. Boldly they rode, and well into the jaws of death, into the mouth of hell, rode the 600.
Each minute bursts in the burning room, the great globe reels and the solar fire spinning, the trivial and unique away. How all things flash, how all things flare. What am I now that I was then? May memory restore again and again. Smallest color of the smallest day.
For me, why poetry can change a young person's life is really, really evident in how it gives a voice to a lot of the feelings and experiences and the thoughts that we go through, but is difficult to express. So it's really a form of empowerment, you know, in using poetry to connect to ourself and to then express ourselves, which is a skill and ability that translates to all areas of our life. And it also helps us to be able to see things as they are, underneath the surface of life. There is this uniting thread, that binds us all together. And poetry is really the art to be able to see underneath the surface of things and see how everything actually is connected in ways that we may not appreciate or notice, but doing poetry, engaging in poetry, writing poetry helps us to just take a moment and to appreciate the interconnectedness of all life.
It's the very last time, she said in closing. From now on, I play no more. A few morns onward found her fading, and as her life outflew, I thought of her playing cartoons right through, and felt she'd known what was coming, and wondered how she knew.
I don't believe in an afterlife, she says. But after Kay died, I thought I might go after her. In case I'm wrong. In case she's somewhere, waiting.
In this poem, there is no suffering. It spans hundreds of years and records no deaths, connecting when it can those moments when people are healthy and happy and content to be alive. A chapter, maybe a volume shorn of violence, consisting of an adult reading aimlessly this line the length of a full life, smuggled in while no one is plotting against a neighbor, except in jest.
Too promising, too great of mind, in so small room to be confined. Therefore, as fit in heaven to dwell, he quickly broke the prison shell.
And send a small child back to sleep at night, not listening for the sound of stealthy flight, dreaming some small thing in a claw, born up of some dark and eaten raw.
Poetry as an art form is important for young people's lives because harnessing one's own creativity and being able to write what you want to write is crucial to one's own growth. And feeling empowered in your agency as you move toward adulthood. Good luck to all the poets, and may you find power in your words and the words of others.
To let the soft bursts, essence of citrus, summer's distillate, drift into my face and settle. Water and gold brew in the quiet deeps at the far end of the season.
The song, nobody knows, because anyone who has heard it is dead, and the others can't remember. Shall I tell you the secret? And if I do, will you get me out of this bird suit?
Love not too much, but how when thou hast made me such, and dost thy gifts bestow, how can I love too much? Though I must fear to lose and drown my joy in care, with all its thorns I choose the path of love and prayer.
I am the people, the mob, the crowd, the mass. Do you know that all the great work of the world is done through me?
How has poetry affected my life? Poetry has made me more attuned to the world around me. It's made me consider the world with all of my senses. It's made me a lot more observational, and it's encouraged and inspired me to see the world around me with awe and wonder and curiosity.
The plumed mask, the mask with a sutured mouth, a moon face with a healed gash that means harvest, a blower that hides wanting, a grotesque pucker. Here's a beaked mask, a braided mask. Here's a mask without eyes, A mask that looks like a mask, but isn't. Please don't try to imagine it. In a dream, my dad fell from the top of a steep white mountain down into a blue crevice, like the space between two waves, where the light shines through just enough to tell you you will miss this life dearly.
Harold's professors would hum and nod their dragon heads, though none of them understood exactly what Harold said. By senior year, Harold became distant. His work increasingly angry.
I say more. The just man justices keeps grace. That keeps all his goings graces. Acts in God's eye what in God's eye he is. Christ, where Christ placed 10,000 places, lovely in limbs and lovely in eyes not his, to the Father through the features of men's faces.
I really love seeing poetry being performed. I feel that poems are meant to be performed. Watching performances of poetry really brings the poems to life and also opens new doors of meaning into the poems. And so I sometimes see certain lines or parts of the poem in a new way. And it's been so enjoyable hearing your performances, watching them. I really appreciated all of you putting all of your energy into it. And thank you for your participation. I hope you keep performing, and I hope you're writing your own poetry as well.
But I had never seen so many so close, hundreds. Every limb of the dead oak, feathered black. And I cut the engine, let the river grab the John boat and pull it toward the tree.
I take the snap from the center. I fake to the right, fade back. I've got protection. I've got a receiver open downfield. What the hell is this? This isn't a football. It's a shoe.
You must give your whole life to poetry. Only a few survive, if that. Poems, I mean. Paper crumpled. Shades of another water. Bar springs are what you long for. Listening. The slow drip of chemicals through a hole in your chest.
Wow, I've watched this video a few times and I'm so moved and inspired by the talent and passion that I see in the young people in our state. It really overwhelms me. Kudos to all of you, and I know we just did it, but come on, hands up, round of applause. You guys were really amazing. It is so inspirational to watch you all, to have you all here, to see your passion and enthusiasm. You know, we faced a difficult year, and you know, I see you all as the future, and it makes us all very proud. So thank you for participating in this challenge, this competition. You are all here because you're all amazing. And now we will announce our winner. But first, I would like to give a special congratulations to our runner-up, Miss Daniela Flom from the Village School in Naples. Daniela, you were amazing. I'm so glad we got to see you read live today.
Thank you.
Thank you, Daniela. And now I brought a drum roll. I got my conga drum right here. I don't know if you can see it, but I'm going to do a little drum roll. 2021 State of Florida champion, Miss Flavia Nunes from the School for Advanced Studies North in Miami Lakes. Flavia, I invite you to come up and say a few words.
First, thank you so much for hosting this competition, even despite like you said, the hardships of this year. It was something to look forward to, and I really appreciate that. And like all the kids that recited poetry and all the judges, what they said, it's like poetry is a way to speak your own truth, and it's a way to express yourself when all objects of communication have been exhausted. And I read somewhere on Pinterest that poetry, I go to read poetry because it's the last place where hidden language exists. And I think that's so true. And I love it because of that. And I just want to thank you all for this opportunity. I appreciate it a lot. Thank you.
Thank you, Flavia. We're so proud of you. Thank you for your work, your passion, your dedication, your talent. Flavia will now go on to participate in the Poetry Out Loud National Final Competition in May, which this year will be virtual. So we congratulate her. We're placing a link in the chat where you'll find the video montage that we just showed. We're also recording this event, so we'll be posting this event afterward. And our state final competition is now complete, but I want to tell you about a follow-up opportunity that we are providing this year. We've been able to secure a grant to have another competition, and I want to ask of all of our poets here online, can I see a raise of hand of anyone who writes original poetry? So this was a recitation competition, but I imagine a bunch of us are poets writing our own poetry. I see a lot of hands going up. Yes. So let me tell you about this opportunity. We're calling it Poetry Out Loud Gets Original. We just heard JD Scott, one of our judges, say that being able to write what you want is crucial to growth. So we want to hear your original poetry. So USF St. Petersburg campus is partnering with Keep St. Pete Lit, which is a nonprofit organization that celebrates and promotes Greater St. Petersburg's literary community through arts, education, and events, and they are helping us to organize this competition. We are inviting all the schools that participated in this year's event to encourage their students to submit original poetry. They will then participate in a virtual open mic competition in which winners will receive a small cash prize and have the opportunity for their poetry to be compiled into an anthology that will be published into a book and disseminated to all of our winners. I believe we have Maureen Mcdole on the line with us today. She is the executive director of Keep St. Pete Lit that is helping us organize this competition. Maureen, are you with us?
I am. I don't know if I'm shown through video or not, but I am here. And I just want to say a couple words. Thank you so much to USF St. Petersburg for partnering with Keep St. Pete Lit. And thank you also to all of our judges, many of whom have been teachers for us in the past or are currently teaching our students. And we're really excited for you to submit your original poetry. Keep St. Pete Lit has many offerings for poets in our community, including poetry open mics. So we're really glad that this is an option this year. And we're partnering with St. Petersburg Press also, which is a local publisher that is going to be publishing the book. And we're really excited to hear your original work because it's so good to know and recite poetry that's already current, but to share your own words and have it in a book form and an anthology, that's so exciting. So thank you so much to all involved.
Thank you, Maureen, and thank you, Keep St. Pete Lit. We posted a link in the chat where you can find out more information about Poetry Out Loud Gets Original. We invite you to submit your poetry. The deadline is March 22nd, and you can find out more details at the link. And with that, we will wrap up this year's Poetry Out Loud 2021 State of Florida Final. Thank you all for being with us. Congratulations once again to Flavia. And I hope we see you all next year. Unless you graduate, and then we hope you all come to University of South Florida St. Petersburg campus. Woo! All right, thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. It was a pleasure having you here today. Have a great weekend.
Amberly, do you want to post an email maybe in case anyone has any questions about the Poetry Out Loud Gets Original competition?
Absolutely, and I also placed in there our USF St. Petersburg campus webpage that has the Poetry Out Loud information, the links to submit your original poetry, and also my contact information as well as Karen. Again, it's been an honor to serve as the co-coordinator for Poetry Out Loud. I really love this experience, and I appreciate all of you for participating. We'll be reaching out to specifically our teachers about things that we can make better and how we can move forward for 2022. So again, thank you. My email's in the chat.
Much to you, Amberly, because I know how hard you worked to pull off this competition.
No, I definitely could not have done it on my own. So thank you to Karen. Thank you for being so gracious with us, as well as this was the first time that we coordinated the event. We've always hosted it, but a different organization was coordinating it. So this was the first time, of course, we coordinated it, and it was also the first time we did so in a global pandemic. So we appreciate you so much. Thank you, everybody. Have a great weekend.